Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Chasing Parts Golf Podcast. We're in this episode and joined by Ladies European Tour Pro Stacy Bregman. Stacy, I believe you're in the UK right now, is that right?
Yeah, it's good to be on the show, Craig. And I'm in London at the moment with my family. This is a spot where I just use a week off to have a little bit of family and normality. And a bit of sunshine, can you believe it? Also in London this week.
Well, it is pissing it down here, yeah. So obviously you've just come off the Tenerife Women's Open last week. Obviously I was in attendance. I did briefly have engagement with you last week while filming for Hitaashee Bakshi on the practice round. And you and I believe it was Alessia Nabelio must have been thinking, who on earth is this guy? But like as you said off air, I had to respond on. I was doing filming, but I believe you're also a black belt in karate, so I don't want to piss you off too much.
No, yeah, as I said, I haven't really competed or practiced in a long time with the karate, so I don't know how fast my reflexes would have been. But thank God I saw the wristband because I think I would have put security on you. You want to have that little tackle, that little tackle that's, I don't know if you remember on the PGA Tour with, I can't even remember the guy's name, on the putting green.
Oh, was it Adam Hadwin at the Canadian Open? I think it was, he got tackled.
It could have been one of those, a repeat of that.
Ouch. So obviously at Abama last week, for those that won't know, it was severely hilly golf course. I think even for you, it's probably one of the hilliest that you'll play all year. What were your thoughts on the course, the layout, and obviously the event in general?
Well, I thought the course was a pretty decent layout. The greens were a bit extreme, I think. It was a course that you wanted to conserve energy on because there was obviously a ton of hills. Everything just felt like it was just going up on the first few holes, first 5 holes. But then what comes up has to come down, right? And then, it was a trek around the golf course, but I thoroughly enjoyed my week around in Abama.
Yeah, you can say that again when it comes to the first 5 holes on the golf course. Uphill 1, even more uphill 2, towards the mountain, then even more uphill 3, and then I believe it's the 4th hole at the putting green is where you got the shuttle up to that treacherous 5th hole. That 5th hole is going to give me nightmares, honestly. I must have walked that about maybe 5, maybe 6 times that whole week, and I do not advise.
Yeah, you had to walk. Okay, we got a cart rider, but we were doing wheelies at one point because you have to really balance out the golf carts while they're taking us out. But it was pretty scary, I'm not going to lie, even on a golf cart going up that hill, so I can just imagine what you felt.
Right, I'm gonna quickly say this while we're on about that 5th hole. So obviously, round the course, the early team, media team were in their own buggies, etc. They asked me, do I want a ride? So I just pop on the back, and I was holding on for grim life at the back of that cart, going up to 5 1 or 2 times. That was also very scary.
Yeah, I can imagine. Trust me. I know the feeling very well.
Yeah, and then obviously it goes downhill from there. But so just chatting about obviously the golf course in general, I think it's more along the back 9 where you get the breathtaking views of the water, and I believe La Gomera Island was in the background as well and stuff like that. It was just views on every hole, basically.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It definitely was the background that you saw all the views. And kind of when you got up to the top of the hill on the front line, you could you could see the sea there and the island. It was breathtaking. You almost went out there and you appreciated life and nature. That it's incredible. It's not a bad office to be in at the end of the day.
Yeah, and then obviously with it being Tenerife as well, what was more of a battle, the golf course or having to deal with the flies every 5 seconds?
I don't know. Geez, the golf course kept you thinking all the time, but the flies were more irritating than anything else. And those flies were like horse flies. They just were the ones that bite. They like to bite and suck your blood like little vampires. And yeah, I had a couple of frustrating moments with them.
I know that because on that 80th green on the practice day, I don't know if we should tell this, like for PG reasons, but yeah, quite a few expletives came out after that when one of the flies came to suck your blood.
Yeah, I had to kill it, and I'm glad that I did kill it and blood came out of it. And I was like, to me that was the biggest goal achieved that week, was to kill a fly that had bitten you.
Yeah, I mean, it was annoying, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But overall, it was a fantastic golf course. But I just want to quickly say about that walk to the range as well. That was an exercise and a half too.
Yeah, especially it definitely got your heart rate up before you teed off on the round. Yeah, you didn't need to do any cardio work before being in the gym. That was definitely a good warm up just to get up to the range. And then, I mean, even the chipping green and all of that, and the pitching area right at the top of the range. I mean, we had to take golf carts up and we kind of walked down. I mean, I would hate to have walked that hill also up the driving range. Just everywhere, like I felt like when I was walking on the premises, there was just like hills, like rolling hills. Yeah.
You told me off air a very interesting fact about how much the course was above sea level. What was the correct figure?
So in feet, we Googled it. I think from the bottom to the top, the highest point of the golf course was like 1,033 feet, which is like in meter wise, it's like 300 and something meters above sea level. Because we're just interested to know, like, what would it be from the top to the bottom? It just feels like such a climb. Yeah. So we Googled it, and that's what it came up with.
No wonder I kind of needed an oxygen mask going up to 5. Fucking hell, Jesus.
Yeah. It's funny because you got off the golf course, you're like, you can wait for lunch to just put your feet up and just sit and just enjoy good food and something to drink, and you almost couldn't get off the chair to go practice afterwards.
So how did you enjoy the Tenerife experience in general? Was that a place that you'd been to before, or was that your first time?
I'd been there quite a few times before. I've been playing on the LET, I think now this is my 18th season. So I think the last time we were there was 2014, I think. I'm not 100% sure. So I've definitely experienced it before, just along quite a while back, and I love the island. I mean, the weather's always decent. It's like 25 all year round or 26. Food is good. It's a nice place to be, I think, as a golf destination for your average person. I think it could be pretty fun, and it's not far from Europe or the UK. So I think it's a real great fun trip, I think, to go there.
So taking it back to the start for yourself, so you're originally from Johannesburg in South Africa. What was it like, like your kind of upbringing in Johannesburg?
I had a good upbringing in Joburg. I mean, South Africa is, I don't know if you've been to it, but I think I'm being biased, a little bit, but I think it's one of the best countries in the world. Joburg's got unbelievable golf courses. The weather's great, pretty much all year round. And the food is good. People are good. And my upbringing, I did a lot of sport when I was younger. I took up golf a little bit later than what other people would have taken it up. I was 13. I had to choose between golf and tennis. And I met my coach on the golf course, and he took me up under his wing. To cut a long story short, so yeah, that's so I had to give up all sports and I played golf. So I had to dedicate everything to golf, and I did homeschooling for my last year of school because I missed 130 days of school. So the principal and wasn't very, very happy with that and couldn't write off my last year if I had to take that many days off. So yeah, that's basically my childhood.
So you mentioned tennis there. Did you play to a semi-decent level growing up?
Yeah, I played provincial school tennis, so like county tennis for school level. I was good at it, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could have been an unbelievable player because at 13 you have to be super, super good at that age. But I mean, I loved it so much. But yeah, I decided to take up golf. My coach really backed me. It was like a dad to me, and he really supported me a lot, Neville Sanderson. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be playing this game to this level.
Take us through how you kind of got into the art of karate, because I'm led to believe here that you achieved South African colours for karate 7 times.
Yeah. So what happened basically when I was younger, we used to be in a lift scheme, which is like, I don't know if you know what that means. It's like there's a few kids that one would take, let's say my mom would be responsible for a Monday taking 4 kids to school and then picking them up on the Monday. So I was at a school that was close by to my brother's school, and I used to finish a lot earlier than what my brother used to finish. So, and there was karate that they gave between those times that I was waiting for my brother. And my mom's like, oh, well, to waste time, try karate. Did that. And then I found, after that, I changed schools, and then I still loved karate then. And I found a dojo closer to home. And yeah, I got hooked onto it and did really well at karate. And I had a sensei that really old school guy and pushed us hard and got results. And I just carried on until I didn't enjoy it anymore. And then I started playing golf.
So how many people on the tour just now on the LET know about, like, obviously your black belt background in karate?
I think a few, but it's better if they don't know because I can always catch them by surprise though.
So basically, if anybody's playing supremely slow, they're getting, the black belt karate's coming in.
Definitely. Like I'll make them play quick. Don't you worry.
Lights out.
Exactly.
So I'm also led to believe that you were also honoured with the 2004 Sports Women of the Year at your local school.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very interesting achievement.
Yeah. I mean, I played a lot of sport at my school always in first team. I was one of the youngest as what we call it Form 1, which is like first year of high school. You guys are a little bit different to us, but like you never used to get like a Form 1 play in first team tennis, for the seniors. And they put me in the first team tennis team, played netball, athletics. I got big trips to Durham for running. So I did any sport that I could besides swimming and hockey.
So out with obviously golf and tennis, like out of them sports, what was there anything? Was there anything else that you were like, oh, I could be very good at?
I would say that I don't know. I think for me, tennis and netball at school were my favorite sports. Because golf wasn't a school sport when I was at school. It only became later on. Yeah, I would say probably tennis or probably netball. I would say because I think.
So I've got down here that some of your hobbies include obviously sports, but you're also big into music and reading.
I read quite a bit, but I'm more into just like listening to podcasts and listen to a book on Audible as long as the narrator is got a decent voice. It's always nice to just close your eyes and just relax and someone read to you. A little bit lazy in that aspect and to switch off that way, but I do enjoy reading. I love music and movies and series and all of that. It's just a really nice way to switch the mind off.
So have you got a favorite, genre of music that's your kind of go-to?
It varies. I think at the moment I really enjoy house music or deep house. And a bit of like old school hip hop R&B, so it's very, it could be indie, it could be whatever my mood is, but I would probably say my go-to is always like maybe a little bit of trance, deep house dance, all of that kind of music.
So it's fair to expect like a trance party with you in charge of the music.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I have no objections to that. I'm not sure about any of the other players or caddies, but yeah, I have no objections.
Yeah.
And you mentioned like obviously watching series and films and stuff. Have you got like a favorite kind of current Netflix series that you may be watching?
I always love watch. I just finished watching a really good series called The Cleaning Lady. It was really good. I don't know if it's on. It might be on Prime. I think it's on Prime. But I love like the whole drug cartel, gangs, a little bit of violence, a little bit. I'm not very much of that. I like romance and all of that, but when things become too like far-fetched and stuff, that's not for me.
Have you got a favourite? Like, obviously, you just mentioned you like a little bit of romance here and there. Have you got a favourite rom-com film?
My rom-com film, I would probably... I think the one that I always loved going to is probably How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I think it's so funny.
So taking it back to the golfing aspect, I don't know why we kind of motored away off topic there a little bit, but so taking it back to your time for South Africa, so you represented South Africa at the 2006 Espirito Santo Trophy, which is a very high honour. You were with Ash Buhai, Ash Simon at the time, but Ash Buhai and Kelli Shean. What was that experience like at the Espirito Santo? I believe that was in South Africa, was that right?
That is correct. It was actually in Stellenbosch in the Zelza Golf Club, and it probably still is one of the best weeks or, wins of my career. I mean, I can just remember celebrating and it was just unbelievable. I mean, it was nothing like, especially, because playing golf, you never really play as a team unless you're an amateur. And, you kind of like when you're pro, you like appreciate those moments of like having teammates and to be able to celebrate with them. And being South Africa's only win at the Women's World Amateur Espirito Trophy was just next level.
So, like, even back then, do you find playing, the home events on home soil, do you find the expectations, a little bit higher than normal? Like, even to this day when, the tour goes to South Africa on the Ladies European Tour, is there a sense of expectation?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, whenever you're playing on home soil, you have the media that's obviously on you, and you are the eye of the tournaments, the South Africans, when you play on home soil. So there's a bit of pressure, definitely, but it's always fun because I never really get my family doesn't really come out often to see me play, and those weeks are really special that I can have them around me, which really helps that pressure. And just being at home and sleeping in your own bed too makes a huge difference, and having a little bit of normality those weeks also makes a huge difference.
So just going on about but back to the South African days. So like you and Ash have like known each other a very long time. I believe growing up, like you seem to play together everywhere. You and Ash Buhai.
Yeah, well, we played a lot of golf together because, we played a lot of our amateur golf in South Africa together. We played interprovincial, which is intercounty together. We played for South Africa together. We played even club level league together when we were younger. So I've grown up with Ash and played a lot of tournaments with her and been around her for a very long time.
And in terms of her, success in her career, how much in awe are you, like in general, of what Ash has achieved?
I mean, what Ash has achieved is incredible. To win a British Open, to win an LPGA, it's something very, very special, and my utmost respect for her and everything. It just shows the level of South African golf that we can compete against the rest of the world, and on big main tours.
So obviously, South Africa as a golfing nation has had a long list as far as I can remember of world class golfers, particularly on the men's side. Obviously, it's getting a little better on the women's side. Obviously, you've got Ash kind of paving the way, Paul Arito on the LPGA tour as well. And then obviously you could kind of say Cass on the LET as well, Cassandra Alexander. In terms of South African golf in general, on the ladies' side, do you think this is, the best kind of the best kind of opportunity that you've had for a long time, to be successful?
I think so. I mean, I really think that women's golf in South Africa is in a very healthy state at the moment. It just shows by there's a lot of us coming through. There's also some girls at college level that are going to start coming through. And then also just the Ladies Sunshine Tour, how much better and stronger every single year it gets. So I think that women's golf in South Africa is healthy and it's good. It makes me happy to see that, because you want to also see the generation under us and under that to be able to keep it going on tour, and to represent the flag on all main tours.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think when I mentioned this kind of question in terms of South African women's golf to Danielle at the start of the year, Danielle du Toit, even that time, I kind of forgot a little bit about Leanne Pace and Nicole Garcia. I've kind of done it again. I think if they two ever see me in person, I think they might give me a stern telling off, because I keep fucking forgetting about them.
Don't worry, I'll be your bodyguard.
I've got a black belt in karate protecting me now, so it's okay. But no, obviously joking about that aside, but you've got obviously Leanne Pace, one of the best players in South African history as well. Very, very successful. Nicole Garcia, obviously on the LET as well as Cass. You got Danielle coming through, and then you've got the talented upcomer Kyrie Moodley. Is that right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Kyrie Moodley. Yeah, we just call her Kai.
Kai.
Much easier.
But yeah, you got the talented upcomer and Kyrie Moodley as well. Would you say, in terms of upcoming talent, Kai could be the next one that comes through?
Yeah, I mean, there's Kai, there's Caitlin McNabb. That's probably she's been doing quite well in the States for college. There's quite a few of them that are out there that you probably also haven't heard, but Kai's definitely the next generation that would definitely do well. She's a good player, got a good head on her, good person, and yeah, she's got good South African blood in her, so she'll do well. Yeah,
and obviously, there's quite a lot of views on the LET now, which is always good to see. When you all see each other at events, I take it you are all
these
are all friendly, the South African buds.
Yeah, we've got a good group of girls out there, and it's nice to have nice girls that you compete against that are also the same culture as you, and all to be able to sit and have a chat. And all of them are quite friendly and nice. Besides, obviously, on the golf course, you're trying to kid each other, but off the course, we've got a nice group of girls, and it's nice to have familiar girls and faces and culture to it.
One final thing about your amateur career. So in 2006, you reached the final 16 of the British Ladies Amateur Championship. How cool was that experience? Obviously, the British Ladies.
It was amazing. And I think we played at Royal County Down, which is like one of my favorite courses has become. And it was pretty cool because I was an underdog. And I come in and I took out a couple of some of the good amateurs at the time there. And I think I took out Berlin Moser, and I think she just currently won maybe the European International, and she did something big for Spain. I don't know. And I think it was a little bit of a blow to her because she probably thought, who's this girl that I'm playing against, So it was really good. I enjoyed my experience, and I always loved playing in the British Am.
So going into your professional career now, so what was the decision making, to turn pro eventually?
After winning World Amateur, I always wanted to become a professional golfer. That's why I worked so hard through my amateur career and gave up all my sport and everything. I said just after World Amateur, if I didn't, I got offered a lot of top scholarships in the States for colleges that I said if I didn't go, I went to Q school on LET. If I didn't get through Q school, I would have gone to college, and I finished second. And I've been on the tour ever since, so I've never looked back. And I mean, to be on there for 18 years, I think is a pretty good stand-in. And consistency also that, I've had a good career out there.
So when you finally realised, obviously, that you had got your playing privileges on the Ladies European Tour to start with, I take it was just a very exciting time, and you just couldn't wait to get started.
Yeah, I mean, I was one of those rookies that thought I could take on the world and win everything, and I put everyone in their place, just like everyone does feel. And first year was tough for me. I call it like my school fee year because I learned so much, and it was hard being home for so long. I was pretty much on my own most of the time. Leanne was out there a little bit. I don't know that well. And I had to make friends, and it was hard. It's not like the girls today where there's quite a few of us out there that are helping them through and guiding them and mentoring them. I didn't have anyone. So I had to grow up very quickly at 19 years old.
And obviously now that I've kind of seen your character up close in person, and it's fair to say you're very energetic kind of character as such. But I take it even back then, even for you now, you said that you struggled at first. How long did it take for you roughly, to get over that shyness and anxiety as such?
I think it probably took about one season. And then as my second season, I played a lot better, and then it just got better and better from there once you get more comfortable. So yeah, it was a little bit of a slow one for me. But I mean, after the first year, I didn't even want to come back and play golf. It was that hard. But I carried on, and I persisted at it. And yeah, I'm very happy that I did that and that I didn't give up so early.
So, in terms of your professional career to date, so you've accomplished 7 wins on the Sunshine Ladies Tour over the years. So 2008 Pam Golding Lowville International, 2014 Zambia Ladies Open, 2015 you went on a 3-win season of Sun International Ladies Challenge, the Didata Pro-Am, Cape Town Ladies Open, 2018 Canon Ladies Schwane Open, and in 2023 the Standard Bank Ladies Open. And you had that, the Aramco Team Series win, funnily enough, for Ash Buhai again. Shock, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, we did get together.
And Hayley Davis. Take it back to your first win in 2008 on the Sunshine Ladies Tour. So the Pam Golding Lowville International. How is your game in general feeling going into that tournament?
Sure, well, that was like 100 years ago. I think it was good. I mean, I think 2008 was a decent season for me on the LET also. And yeah, I think my game was in a really good space in those years also.
Yeah, I do know it was 2008 and a long time ago, but you did have, in that season, you did have a 6 at the Scottish Open, which obviously to this date is still a very big tournament. And you had a second in Turkey as well. Being, in contention with a good week on the Ladies European Tour in Turkey, did that give you confidence, you think, going forward?
It definitely did, especially because the course was playing so tough. And I remember being so firm and bouncing. It's a real tight golf course. It definitely did give me a lot of confidence for the rest of the season.
And so just looking at some of your other top 10 finishes, like by year. So in 2010, you had a 10th at the Hero Indian Women's Open.
Mm-hmm.
Was that still a DLF?
It was on the old golf course before they built the new one. So it was on the Arnold Palmer course, I think, the AP course.
And in terms of that old course compared to DLF now, like obviously the quirkiness and stuff, is there much difference from what you can remember?
Completely different. I mean, there's still the 9 holes of the old course, but I think they've also redone a few holes, but it was completely different. Definitely not as hilly and as tricked up as the DLF course, the Gary Player course.
In 2011, you had 2 top 10s with the 6th at the Portugal Ladies Open and 4th at the Omega Dubai Ladies Masters. Imagine the 4th in Dubai, like even back then in 2011, must have been a pretty cool feeling, obviously. Even back then, I presume it was kind of building into what is now like this mega city as such, like in terms of riches and prestige. Obviously, to go to Dubai, like even back then, I take it it's a place that you still enjoy.
Well, I love Dubai, especially the Emirates course. That course, when it's in great condition, it's one of my favorite golf courses. I've always played nicely around there. I just wish we had that tournament back. It was really a cool grand final event to finish the season on.
I wish they would bring back the event that you play at night. I can't remember what it was called again.
I'm not the biggest fan of playing golf at night, but it was a good event.
I mean, this is probably, the casual neutral fan of me trying to, get the Moonlight Classic back on the calendar, LAT.
Yeah, because it's just a lot more cooler at night and not as bad during the day with heat.
Yeah, definitely. 2012, 6th at Swiss Open, 3rd at the British Masters, and 9th at the Unica Ladies Open. It seems to be, just looking at your career, you seem to love playing in, the British conditions.
Yeah, I mean, I do love it. The courses in the UK are always great. And it almost feels like it's a second home for me because it's always where I've based myself on weeks off, and my coaches have been here and all of that. So it's always been nice to compete in the UK. So,
just looking at, further on, so 2013, again, another few top 10s. 2014 was a very successful season for you. Do you remember much of 2014? Obviously, you got the win at the Zambia Ladies Open on the Sunshine, but you also followed that with good, very good results. 10th at Lala Merriam, 5th at the Italian, 6th at the Euromasters, 9th at the Sperbank Golf Masters, 8th at the Sanya. It seemed like a very successful year that year.
Yeah, it was very good, and I remember it clearly. It's funny because I think that season, I'd put on quite a bit of weight, and like I wasn't really interested in training much and doing things. I got a bit lazy, but all I used to do was have putting comps with Nikki Campbell, and she really elevated my game. And yeah, it was a great season.
And in 2015, you got a tie 4th at the Deloy Ladies Open, and followed that with some good ranking performances. Tied 16th to the Lacoste Ladies Open de France, and tied 23rd again at the Dubai Ladies Masters.
Yeah.
Again, it seems like another great season. But like just going in kind of recent years as such, you were saying off air that I think it's maybe the past 2, maybe 3 years of your career have been like some of the most challenging for you.
I'd say COVID. COVID really, yeah. COVID helped people and it destroyed people, and I just felt like I just couldn't. It's also even now just trying to just get back to where I was. It crippled me a bit, COVID, I would say. Don't know why, but I just haven't been the same since before then.
So of course, like as I alluded to just a little earlier, you got the team win at the Aramco Team Series Sotogrande along with Ash and Hayley Davis, and you had a third at the Aramco Series in New York in 2021, and in 2022, 7th at the Joburg Ladies Open. But you know, as you say there, like in terms of yourself, you've kind of struggled since COVID. How do you even into an 18-year career try and, you know, get the motivation to continue to better yourself and try and get back to what you once were?
You know, I've changed coaches. I've kind of changed my team a little bit, and it's funny because I'll play practice rounds and all of them. Some of the girls go, I don't know how you haven't won, and I can't understand why you're not playing as well as what you should be playing. And the thing is, I've still got potential to win out there. I know that my game is there. I hit it good enough, if not the best I have hit it in a while. It just has to click, I think. I've had a little bit of bad luck, I suppose, with a few events where things haven't really gone my way. But yeah, I have that. I don't give up. And you know, I might be close to the end of my career, but I still have it in me to play another couple seasons and all. And I know they can be probably my best seasons I've ever had. I know it.
So when times get tough, like obviously I'm alluding to like as of, you know, as you said, like the past few years, like when times have got tough and it's easy just to you know, cover away, hide, just give up and never play again. Obviously, to have that hunger to still compete and to still try and get through the shit times. Like in terms of when it has got really, really tough, like how would you try and, you know, cope with such hardness? Like would you say on the golf course that maybe at times you've been a little bit too hard on yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I have been known to be very hard on myself, and I'm a little bit of a perfectionist at times with things, which hasn't helped me. But I've got better at that. And, you know, for me, I love the challenge. Like when you aren't playing well, to get yourself to play well again and to find ways of and experiment a little bit to see how I can better myself. I've made mistakes along the way, obviously, with it, and also done maybe too much experimentation with it. But the mind is strong. That's and if you're willing to to put in the effort and all of that. And I've never been shy to do that, to give it my all. Then I can never go at the end of the day, and I can never regret that I hadn't done everything that I could have done to become successful.
Would you say that that's probably one of your greatest attributes? Like obviously out with the golf game, that having that correct mindset of never give up, always fight to the end, never give up attitude. Would you say that's one of your greatest attributes too?
I would definitely say that. I'm very strong-minded and sometimes stubborn in that way. And just to be able to prove it to myself that no matter how hard it is, it's just a game at the end of the day. It's, people have their opinions of you, and you can't let that opinion destroy you, or you think of, because at the end of the day, you play golf for yourself. You don't play golf for, it's a little bit of a selfish thing I'm saying, but you play golf for yourself. You don't play for anyone else. So as long as you're fine with what you're doing, you've got to just carry on doing it and don't worry about what other people think.
Is there anything in particular that maybe you've been, really guilty of in the past, like during the tough times, that maybe you're just over analyzing it too much, or like you're trying to do too much to get to the perfectionist that you say you are. Like it could be in terms of your swing dynamic or stuff like that. Like, have you been guilty of that, like in the past couple of years?
Very guilty of it. I would say probably my biggest downfall is I just do too much. I don't give myself a break to enjoy things. And just to take time out and say, it's okay. It's okay to struggle a bit. You don't have to keep grinding through it. Sometimes you don't have to beat yourself up too much because you are struggling, because you almost sabotage yourself even more by doing that.
Yeah, and also like I've no golfing experience whatsoever, and I'm a shit golfer. Blah blah blah. I just chat golf, but like even probably for a neutral, that eventually maybe one or two good weeks can maybe click yourself back into gear, and all the bad thoughts can be erased into history.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all it takes is a week. I mean, they say, you can miss cuts. I mean, you look at, everyone has that example of Justin Rose when he first went pro. I think he missed like 9 cuts in a row or something, 12 cuts in a row. And then all of a sudden it changed around. I'm checking him today. That's just need one good week to change that. You're a week away from success, they always say. It's just you never know when that week is. That's the only problem.
So, like, obviously, you said that you've managed to keep your card for 18 years. Fingers crossed, obviously, for yourself that it's 19 years. But, like, how would you kind of assess 2025 so far for yourself?
It's been, I think, as I said, like, it's been challenging the last 2 years, and I've always thought, okay, well, what is life after golf going to look like? Have I got anything? Because I've only known golf. And I've always wanted to have a little business on the sideline while I'm playing that I can still earn money and transition into eventually when I do retire. And I started a nice little company with one of my best friends called Stay Cool. It's a sun sleeve business. And it's been going phenomenally well. And it's almost taken a little bit of the pressure off me. And it's also got me thinking that it's just like my mind is stimulated now on the business side. And, not just always golf. And it's quite refreshing that. And to learn more about business and to do things. So it's been a very, I think, successful year for me off the golf course also, which is quite rewarding for me.
So, like, in terms of, like, the new kind of business venture as such on the side, So obviously, I'm not saying that you're gonna play shit again for the next 2 or 3 years, but like say it didn't work out eventually, and you do finally decide to call it quits. I take it. I take it with this business venture as well. You're just going to put 100% commitment into that after golf. You think?
Yeah, definitely. I thank God I've got a really good friend, a business partner that can devote a lot of time for it. Obviously, I'm lucky in a point where she can run most of it, and then I do some stuff off the golf course when I have the time. I'm still heavily involved in it and still giving it 100% at that, but it's fun. For me, it's fun, and it just, I feel quite proud, because there's quite a few of the girls using my product and love it. And it gives me a lot of like joy and happiness that I found something else that I really love, because I didn't think I would.
So if you were to say like any, maybe short-term goals for the next few tournaments, so you got the Czech Masters, are you playing Germany and Ireland as well?
Yeah, play Germany, Ireland, yeah.
Yeah, so if you had like, brief short-term vision goals like for them 3 events, is there anything in particular?
I mean, I'd love to have a top 10. I would be realistic and just say top 10. I know, like, obviously I know I've got potential to win it, but if I just take it as what I'd be really happy with is if I could just get a nice top 10 and just, to see all my little goals that I set for myself every week, my outcome goals, and just like things that I want to improve on. If those are better, I'm happy at the end of the day.
So obviously Baroun has been on the calendar for a few years now, but like there's a new course in Germany for the event in near Hamburg, sorry. Which they played quite a lot on the DP World Tour at Green Eagle. How much do you know about that course?
Well, Florentina Parker is one of our very good friends, and she's from Hamburg. She knows the course very well, and she said it is a very tough golf course. It's very long and narrow. Not even the men play right off the back there because it's that long. So, yeah, we'll see when we get there. I know that it's a tough course and it's a bit tight and greens are smalls, but, it's a tournament at the end of the week and it's the same for everyone. You just got to, if it's a ball striking golf course, I'm up for it. I love it. I love it when it's tough.
And so you got Green Eagle, then you've got Carton House. What were your thoughts on Carton House last year?
I think it's a really nice links course. It's very Americanized. I think it's not your typical traditional Irish links course, but it's really nice up there. I mean, facilities are great. It's a nice area to be in. The course was in great condition last year. The people are friendly. And also, yeah, I'm really looking forward to going back there.
And so kind of like the Scottish as well, like the Irish, do you think it should be back on the rotation system as well? Like, it does feel like that Carton House will be there for a few years, but like, as a traditionalist as such, do you think going back to the old rotation system on the Irish courses, do you think that's best?
I like it because you're playing different courses all the time. You're not going back to the same venue every single year. And yeah, to play a different course in Ireland is good. Yeah, but whatever the promoter wants, that's what they want. Like, I'm not going to argue. We've got tournaments and it's good money, and as long as it's a decent layout and the condition is good, then I'm all happy.
And so you've got so after Ireland, obviously it's Evian, and then I take it. Will you get into Evian or take it?
Well, at the moment, not.
And then Scottish after that.
Yeah, Scottish, it doesn't look like, unless I win before that. So hopefully.
Will you be taking part in the Royal Protocol, while qualifying for the British Open?
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to play there. I've heard that the golf course is incredible, and I'd love to play another major. I've played quite a few before, and I'd love to definitely play a Royal Protocol.
And in terms of the public investment fund I've done for the women's game in general in the past few years, obviously they've increased the prize funds, etc. So the PIF events, that one at the Centurion Club in August seems to be a very good attraction just now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great event. Centurion is a good golf course. Love it. It's just close to home from where I live in London. It's quite nice that I could stay at home for that event. But yeah, I mean, I think it's been really good that to have the backing of the PIF in all of that, and the Saudi Golf Saudi to have and Aramco to have these iconic events and something different also. It's not just, it's a different kind of tournament.
So obviously I'm not going to go into obviously the political side of all that shit, but just to say, like, obviously with the PIF and stuff, I take it all of the players are greatly appreciative of obviously the added money that they're, adding to the events on the LET.
Definitely, yes. So it helps us girls, it's you're not playing for as much as what the guys are playing for. And to raise it by an extra $1 million, it makes a huge difference in our livelihoods, than it does, and in the guys. The guys, whatever we earn, you add a zero to. We've got to play a lot more consistent and better to be able to make really, really, really good money.
So I take it the main goal this year, obviously, like in the events towards the end of the season, is to finish in the top 70 and obviously keep your card again for the 19th straight year.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. That's definitely a big goal of mine to do that and do better. Anything better it's a big bonus for me because, it's from where I've come the last 2 years, that would be a huge improvement. And then I know that it's almost there, that I'm on the right track with everything.
So, we'll just kind of, finish the last kind of 5 minutes or so. We're a little bit of fun. So, just kind of get to know you a little bit. So, obviously, we talked about like the music and stuff, the karate and stuff, blah blah blah. But so if you had to name your top 3 golf courses that either you have played or that you have seen, it could be anywhere in the world. What's it going to be?
Well, I would love to play Old Head in the island, Pebble Beach. There's so many golf courses that I'd love to play. Even golf courses in South America that I've heard of that are just incredible. Yeah, it's a tough one, but I'd say those.
And what would you say, obviously being a proud South African, would be what's the top 3 courses do you think, in your opinion, in South Africa?
Glendower would be one of them. Leopard Creek and the Gary Player at Sun City. Those are my top 3.
Everyone says Leopard Creek. What is it about that place that makes it, so special, apart from obviously the Kruger National Park, which is right next door?
It's a great golf course. Great layouts, always in good condition. The practice facilities are incredible. It's great.
Is it not a pain in the ass to get to?
It is a pain in the ass to get to, but it's worth it. It's well worth it. So even fan courts, I mean, I spend a lot of time in fan courts, and I love fan court also.
Yeah, funnily enough, that's where Danielle won on the Sunshine Tour, the fan court. She was going on about that last Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a great venue. Great. I mean, it's probably one of the best estates in the world.
So if you were stranded on a desert island with 2 other folk, it could be any of the South African players, or it could be any of your friends on tour. So you're stranded on a desert island with 2 other folk. Who are you taking with you to try and, keep you company, try and keep you sane?
Keep me sane one would be Florentina Parker, and the other one would be to keep me sane, and then Tabessa Malik, to be able to just throw in a couple of good jokes and all of that. So yeah, those are my 2 best friends on tour. So I'd love to have them on my desert island.
I mean, I can imagine there'd be some laugh, like even with your character as well. Like, I imagine there could be some laughs on a stranded desert island. But the last one I'll finish with is obviously a fun one. So if you had to go up and sing a karaoke, what's your go-to karaoke song? And you have to sing about it.
I can't do the tequila song.
Oh, tequila.
Yeah.
Awesome. So effectively just got
Yeah, exactly. Tequila. That's correct. Karaoke song. What was my karaoke song? Probably Sweet Child of Mine, because it's just a good song, you know? It gets everyone going.
Good singer, bad singer, shit singer.
I think my mom always told me I was a good singer, so I must be half decent. I haven't cracked the window yet.
Yes, so maybe if I'm at one of the other events, like towards the end of the year, you can maybe give me a rendition of Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah, maybe. Or I can just pull off that I'm not feeling so well, but a little bit of my losing my voice, you know, that I can't give away all my talents.
Or you could just go all the way through the day, through the week, just singing.
Exactly.
Tequila.
Love it. Love it.
Nah, so instead of tequila, you need to think of another word though. Like, I'm not sure Bregman fits into tequila, so
Yeah, so Sweet Child of Mine would be probably one of them, and maybe because I would say Michael Jackson, but his voice pitch is like, I wouldn't be able to reach the notes that he does. Maybe like a Beatles song.
okay.
Here Comes the Sun, because we need that. I always sing that actually when it's raining. When this is about to rain or two, I just sing that to give myself a little bit of hope that the sun will come out.
Surely when it's, just now the ladies European raining to us, why does it always rain on me?
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, that's also a good one. I didn't think of that one. That was a good one.
See, now that you got the tequila song stuck in my head, I'm just going to go du twat.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck sneaking tonight.
Danielle, if you're listening, obviously another episode where I had to throw in du twat in, but yeah, you're used to it by now. Stacey, I mean, it's been a really funny one, to be honest. So I do really appreciate you coming on, taking time, and all the best for Czech next week.
Thanks for having me on your show.
And just remember in the future, tequila.
That's right, not whiskey, tequila.
No, actually, the last time I drank tequila, cough, cough, Saturday night on the Tenerife strip. But never want to think about that ever again.